Hi, we are at the booth of 2m-tech with Thomas Mueller from 2m.
Thomas Malligner, that's right.
Thomas, could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
We, as 2m-tech, we've been doing Crossheads since 2007. So it's relatively new, but we've got 50 years of experience from my co-partner, who's my father. And so he's been in the cable industry for half 100 years. So we've been able to do a new series of crossheads, and we were able to eliminate some of the old problems which almost all crossheads had. And
you want to show your crossheads that you have?
Of course. This is our 2m-10. This is for single layer. We have a hydraulic bypass here, but we obviously also have manual bypasses or pneumatic bypasses. Our main goal is to keep the crosshead as simple as possible, to keep it as compact as possible. One of our main goals was always to keep the die as far out from the head as possible. This makes things much more easy for when you have problems like die drool, which is a common problem. You can always manipulate the die a bit. It's much easier than, if the die is way inside, you have zero chances of having any influence on this.
And what do you have here?
Of course, have fluoro crossheads for fluke polymers. This is also single layer, but we have obviously all. This is actually, yes, also single layer, but we have obviously also Coextrusion for all our
What
heads.
does it mean by Coextrusion and single extrusion?
Coextrusion, you can have two extruders. You can have for the main extruder gives the main layer, and the Coextrusion you can either put a stripe or another layer, or you can have skin extrusion, but you can also have, for example, there's a different type of head is the two layer. So you have you have a cheaper material below and the high-end material on the outside.
What's the difference between the three extruders that I see here?
The three crossheads. Well, this is basically this one, and this just for a different diameter range. This one goes up to 10 millimeters. This one goes up to 20 millimeters outside diameter. And here we have a co-extrusion head. So we have one extruder coming from here and one extruder coming from here. This is the bypass system. You can switch the bypass and then it bleeds. That's what it's called. The material, the raw material, the melted plastic bleeds out, and you can make a tool change. And you can, if you have some maintenance work, you can do your maintenance without stopping the extruders, which is always when you stop the extruder, the material inside of the extruder will burn. So this is.
Could you explain a little bit about the process as well? I'm relatively new in this extrusion process. Could you explain a little how the whole process works? Let's say in an example in a cable production, yeah.
Well, you have the payoff where the copper. Let's talk about insulation of coppers. You have you adjust it. You have the payoff, and you put through mostly some kind of
So in the hopper, you're putting all of these PVC compounds and all of these compounds, and
the copper is the copper will come in from here. And the raw material will come in from here and here. So this is where the blank copper comes in, on the outside. This is where it comes insulated.
Got it.
So you've got the two extruders.
And the hoppers are, where the material comes is from that side and that side. If in a co-extrusion process.
This is on a co-extrusion process,
and then get it. Okay.
So yeah, then you have the takeoff. You have some kind of what's the English term in German? It's a Speicher.
I think it goes through the cooling trough, and
after the head, it goes through the cooling trough.
Right.
Then you have some kind of capstan, like you see from Company Q.
Correct.
And then you have the take up. That's where the finished product is winded up, and then it's ready to be either for the next step of the production, or it's already the finished product and it can be shipped out to your customer.
Can we talk a little bit about how you see the market? Is the show good? How is the market?
The market is pretty good. It's it's fairly the cable industry is a fairly steady business. You will, although everybody's talking about wireless, you will always need a wire somewhere, especially now with all the electric cars going on. You have almost twice as much cable as in a regular car. So the cable industry will always be there, and it will always be almost the same as it is. You will always have people involved. There will hardly be any full optimization possible. So it's a very hands-on industry.
So crossheads can be used for any cable, or do you have specific crossheads for specific cables?
Yes, that's right. For specific, because there's also flat cables, elevator cables. These are very own range of products.
And so you specialize in a specific cable design?
Well, no, we do them all. We are very flexible. We've been doing. This is like this is a standard round cable, but we've also been doing elevator cables. Or this, for example, is an elevator crosshead. So you can do this really wide products, even as wide as up to 150 millimeters was the widest one, but there's no limit. You can always go bigger. There's absolutely no limitation. Just depends if the customer has this requirement, we can deliver.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Thomas. It was great talking to you.
Thank you. It was great talking with you too.